Hello everybody, it is Emery48 here, and today's video is another tier list Tuesday. We're going back to where the tier lists kind of started, back in the world of sports, taking our time off of Marvel for at least a little bit. This one is going to be an NBA teams tier list, so I'm going to be ranking my favorite teams with the tiers favorite, like, just there, and least favorite. I don't know why I put a D on the end of that, but it's just my opinion. This is not how good the teams are. It is whether I like the team or not. The Milwaukee Bucks are the first one in the list, so I'm going to start with them. They're kind of just there. They've been a pest to... as I always do with the sports ones, it's easier if I just put my favorite team up on top right away because there's references to other teams based around my favorite team. My favorite team are the Boston Celtics. If you've seen the other sports tier lists, that's not a shock because they were all Boston teams on the top. The Bucks, although they have been a pest in the past couple of years because of how good they've been in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics haven't been that good anyway. So for me, the Bucks are just there. I don't have any issues with them. The Brooklyn Nets, they're also just there, similar to the Bucks, getting much better in recent years. Although the big three, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett did go to the Nets following the Celtics, and Kyrie has gone to the Nets following his time on the Celtics. They just seem to like picking up our leftovers. For me, they're just there. The Knicks are a New York team that are going to get smack on the bottom of least favorites. I don't like a lot of New York teams in sports. That's just kind of how it works. The Raptors, they're just there for me. They had some fun playoff runs the last couple of years. And with the Celtics out, they've been a fun team to watch. The Jazz, they're kind of just there. It's a Western Conference team. Doesn't get to the finals very often. So I don't have much competition with the Jazz. The Rockets, again, another Western Conference team. Now that James Harden's gone, they haven't really been as good. So they're just kind of there. New Orleans Pelicans are going to fall into that. Anthony Davis is gone, although I think they've been doing all right this year. I could be completely wrong. I haven't been following too much of the NBA as the Celtics are flirting with the 500 line at this point. The Los Angeles Lakers are probably my least favorite team in the entire league. I'm a Celtics fan. Celtics versus Lakers. It's the big rivalry for the Celtics, so they're not going to move up any higher than that. The Bulls, in the past, they would have probably landed in when Derrick Rose was there. Not the biggest Jimmy Butler fan, so I kind of turned away from the Bulls when he was there. And I haven't watched too much Bulls basketball in a long while. Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, there was no player that really drew me to the Timberwolves when I was younger, so they're a team that's just there. Same with the Portland Trailblazers. A lot of the West Coast teams are probably just going to land just there because they don't bother me enough because we don't play them much. But yeah, the Denver Nuggets, they're just there as well. Never a big fan of the Nuggets, I guess. I think now they've been doing pretty well, but for a while they were kind of bad. They had that Carmelo Anthony era, but I wasn't a Carmelo fan, so. The OKC Thunder, they just kind of annoy me. I don't know. I don't think they're as good now, but the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook years, didn't really like them, so they get in least favorite. I like them. I prefer them over these two teams for sure, but I like them a lot less than these teams. Memphis Grizzlies, they can get just there. I don't know. They, again, don't bother me. Inoffensive. I believe they're West Coast, even though it's Memphis. I feel like that would be an East Coast team, but Dallas Mavericks, I do like the Mavericks. I was a big Dirk Nowitzki fan when I was a kid, so they get a like. Another team that's going to get a like, the San Antonio Spurs. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, those years, Tim Duncan, really enjoyed those teams. I wish they got more than just one championship together under Greg Popovich. But that was a really fun team for me to watch when I was a kid. The Phoenix Suns is another team that I do like, and they have actually recently risen to pretty good form in the last couple of years. A lot of the Arizona teams make it onto like because I've actually been to Phoenix, so I tend to gear towards cities that I've gone to and enjoyed the city. I will root for the sports team. Phoenix Suns is similar to that. They also had Steve Nash, and that was one thing that that was a Phoenix team that I started liking before I went to Phoenix because Steve Nash was awesome. The Clippers, they're going to get in least favorite. Another LA team. I just don't really like them. The Golden State Warriors, I do like. Steph Curry, I think, is a really fun player to watch. He recently broke the 3-point record in the NBA, which is very cool. But yeah, for me, he's a fun player to watch, so I enjoy the Golden State Warriors. I would rather have them win than many of the teams below them on my tier list. The Detroit Pistons are just kind of there. I don't think they haven't really been that good for the most part since I've been watching basketball. I don't know about right now if they're good, but they've never offended me as a Celtics fan. The Sacramento Kings, again, an inoffensive West Coast team. Cleveland Cavaliers, that's my least favorite. The amount of times that LeBron and the Cavaliers came and beat up on Boston, they can't be on my favorite list. Now the 76ers, I enjoy the city of Philadelphia, but the 76ers are a pest of a team to the Celtics, and no matter what, whoever's having a better run of form, a better season, the 76ers always seem to right the tide against the Celtics in the last 5 or so years. So the team itself is probably a least favorite. The city brings it up to a like. So it lands in the middle of just there, but very offensively just there. The Charlotte Hornets, they haven't done much. The Washington Wizards I actually really don't like. I never liked John Wall as a player, so he gets to go down there. Well, the whole team does, but the Orlando Magic is just there. I enjoyed the Dwight Howard years of the Orlando Magic, but since then, nothing to really draw me to be a fan and nothing to really annoy me about the Magic. The Miami Heat, again, it's a LeBron team. I'm not the biggest Dwayne Wade fan or Chris Bosh fan. Ray Allen was on that team, which is cool. Celtics, but Atlanta Hawks, they actually get a least favorite as well. They've been another pesky team in the playoffs against the Celtics, so I never see myself rooting for them because they're always coming up against the Celtics. And the Indiana Pacers are another team that is an Eastern Conference challenge for the Celtics in a lot of years. So those teams will hit the bottom of the pile. But this is my tier list of teams in the NBA that I like. It's a lot more bottom-sided than most of the other tier lists that I've done. But I guess a lot of teams have brought the Celtics some painful series and painful games in the last decade or so. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Let me know what your tier list would look like, if it would be different from mine. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.